how are you? It's always Coffee with Kelly time. I wanted to do a reading for us for this week. This week is Thanksgiving week. And the reason why I'm doing so is because I've been hearing so many negative things that are happening on the news. And, it's just like a very harsh and kind of tense environment right now, I'd like to say. And I just wanted to do a reading for us for this week, as we are also coming into a full moon, and our full moon is going to be on the 25th of November. So that's actually going to be like Thanksgiving Eve going into Thanksgiving Day. So we'll have that energy for that whole 24 hours, and it's going to be a full moon in Gemini. And, Gemini is like it's a mutable air sign. So that means it can go either way, and it's in the planet of Mercury, and Mercury is the messenger, and whenever we have Mercury retrograde, we have like breakdown in communications, things are not getting transferred and processed correctly. So this full moon is all about communication, and that's what Geminis do. But let me also tell you that Gemini is a twin, and it has a mirror image, which is the complete opposite. So this is what's going to be happening on Thanksgiving. So it's going to be really fun at the Thanksgiving table, because full moons also are a time for release. When we release everything from that month or from the past and let it go and start anew, that's when we release. So there's going to be a lot of releasing going on during Thanksgiving, and I just wanted you guys to have a heads up on that. And the reason why I'm doing so is because it's not so much of a shock when crazy stuff happens, because you've already been like forewarned. So you could, go inside, use your divine inner wisdom, and kind of like put up your shields and let it boing, boing, boing off, because this is the energy that we're in right now. And with the Gemini communication coming out of Mercury for the full moon, and the releasing that's going to be going on right on Thanksgiving, when we get messages through Gemini being that twin, the messages are usually the kind that's like either it's off or it's on, or it's up or it's down, or it's black or it's white. So it's a mutable sign. So it, just hold on and, let it slide off you, because crazy stuff happens. Anyway, I wanted to do a reading for our Earth also, because of the collective energy that is, especially in the news. They're trying to sustain us into a fear energy that we have to be afraid of everything. And we don't have to be afraid of everything, because what you're seeing visually is not the whole entire world. And there are thousands upon millions of external forces that are working towards the greater good of humanity. So don't give in so much towards the news. There are terrible things happening in the news, but, you need to be sort of live in the world, but don't be of the world. You have to make your own divine grounding and energy, and try not to live into that, because when we are all collectively feeling that, that vibrational level on the earth gets really, shaky, and it's scary, and, you don't want to give that reflection off onto yourself, as you can make yourself sick. You're going to bring the fear into your children also. So, do things that are a little more, look for your happy, push your happy button and look for that, enjoy the turkey, hang out with the family. So I was doing some runes today, and I pulled the runes, and I thought that I'd like to share that with you, just so you could kind of see how we could help our planet with this time that we're having right now, with all this really harsh energy, and we're coming into a climax we're going to be releasing, and it's going to be on the 25th. So that's right Thanksgiving morning. So if you're going Black Friday shopping, make sure you put yourself in a big bubble of white light of protection, my guys, okay? So the first rune that I pulled was the Ingus. Ingus is, like I talked to you in a video before, it's a cycle rune. And this is the fertility rune, or the seed rune, or this is the God rune. This is like the seed. This is things that are happening behind the scenes before you could actually see what's going on. So that's like the seed that's in the ground that still hasn't sprouted. But this actually is the emergence where the seed is starting to come out. So this is birth. This is, a God process. This is space. This is taking like yourself, giving yourself a little isolation so you have time to grow. So that's basically the seed has been planted and now it's ready to be birthed. So this is like internal growth, transformation into higher states, because you're going from becoming a seed into becoming a fruit or a plant or an awakened human being. You are being birthed right now. So, and this is a cycle rune, and a cycle rune means that you have to pay extra attention, because that's when you are on the actual path. So that would probably be this, since I pulled 3, this would be for like Monday, Tuesday. Now, when we're going into Thanksgiving and we've got that full moon happening, we come into Manaz. Now, Manaz is the first rune. It's number 1. Now, Manaz is the rune of self. But it is also, it's not only self as an individual, it's also self as a whole, as our whole entire collective consciousness. It is man, woman, it's the entire human race. This is the first rune. This is the rune that is like the breath of life. This is when, God gave us the breath of life. Okay, so that kind of coincides with our first rune, where you're a seed and you're going to be born, and during Thanksgiving, hello, welcome to the world, you're being born. You are getting the breath of life. This is major growth. This is transformation. This is rectification. Now, things have to be rectified before we can get any process going on. So let me tell you, when people are releasing during Thanksgiving time, they are rectifying whatever they needed to get out of them, so the process could turn into a transformational process. So, rectification would be like how you have to toil the earth before you plant the seed. So, or where you have to pull out the weeds before the flowers come. So this is basically what's going to happen on Thanksgiving Day. People are going to be pulling out all the weeds and showing you, look, this is all the weeds in my garden, and they're going to release it, and it's going to go away. It's going to be packaged up, put in a little package, sealed up with love, floated off into the universe, back to where it came from, and we're going to get into that process of the breath of life. We are being rebirthed. So that's really good. And that's us whole, not just individual with people with individual problems. This is a whole collective subconscious. That means we are all saying, you know what? We're done with the fear. We're done with old ways. We are done with anything that is not for our greater good. And we're going to release that. And what a better way to release that over a piece of turkey. So that rune is basically to be in the world, but not of it. This is, if you look at this rune, if you take that rune and cut it in half, Manaz, you cut it in half, you get the rune of joy. And the rune of joy is facing its equal and opposite in the mirror. So that rune kind of means like know thyself. Know thyself. And that would go along perfectly with the full moon, with the Gemini being the twin, and it's like yes, no, black, white, raining snow, blah, blah, blah. Know thyself. You're looking at the self. You are transforming yourself. You're looking directly at the mirror. And when it's split in half, this is what this rune is telling us. This is double joy. So if you learn to have the joy within yourself, you're going to have a collective joy through the whole world. And that's like a direct connection with our ancestral divinity. It's like humankind's potential to become a sustainable civilization, a utopia, a paradise. So if you feel like you can help solve some of Earth's problems and things that threaten Earth, you already have activated your manas. You've already activated that. So that's good, because that's self-knowledge. That's mastery. That means that, I was watching a video the other day with Lauryn Hill, and she was talking about her creative process and how life is peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. And when you're up here, you're a master, and then you have to go back down, and you have to go back into study and isolate and regroup. And so right now, this is where we were studying at the beginning of the week. Okay, now we're coming into the breath of life. We're being reborn. We're knowing thyself. We've got the double joy going on there. And we are learning self-knowledge and mastery. So now we're going up to a peak. That means that we're coming as a collective consciousness in the world, that we are going to be able to handle our problems. And we can handle them diplomatically. Because all of us are connected to the one same divine spark. And for the end of the week, for that crazy Black Friday and all the shopping and all that stuff that's going on, we have Anzus. Now, Anzus is another cycle rune. And when you have more than one cycle rune in your reading, that means that this reading is like extra, potentially double the energy. So this means that this is like, it's really giving you a signal. And Anzus is the messenger rune. This is the rune of signals. So that also coincides with the full moon being in Gemini, and that Gemini's planet is Mercury, and Mercury is all about communication. And this is also the first rune of initiation. This is the first cycle rune of initiation. So it's saying that we're going to be getting messages. We're going to be getting signals. We're going to be getting gifts. Not just Black Friday gifts. I mean, who wouldn't love a new plasma TV that's like 3D and all kinds of Wi-Fi stuff? I'm talking about really cool spiritual gifts. I'm talking like you get the crystal eye, you get like the extended hearing, you get that antenna where you can just like tune right into vibrational levels and feel things, and you can get the heat in your hands to heal people. Those are the kind of gifts I'm talking about. I'm talking about gifts directly from the center of the universe that are designed specifically for us and for the vibrational level that we're on. So that's great. This is like new lives, new pathways. And that's great when it's coming in Thanksgiving, that being because we have a lot of people, especially here in the United States, and all over the world, we have a lot of people that are new. And we have to remember what Thanksgiving means and what the original Thanksgiving was. And that was sharing and helping the new person that came. So, there's nothing wrong that when you're out there Black Friday shopping and you're receiving your signal, that you don't pick up an extra pair of gloves or an extra package of socks or something like that and give them to the new people that we have that are coming here. You see them, you feel them, you know who they are, and you know in your heart that that's the thing you should do. So do it, and it's wonderful. You'll be repaid 3 million times, because it's not so much what you're doing here on this earthly plane, but this is what you're accumulating and how big your wingspan is going to be when we finally leave here. And that's what we want to do. It's like putting another feather in your wings. So do that. Who wouldn't want to have a big, huge, feathery wing, especially me, because I need some big wings to carry this body up somewhere. So, this, at the end of the week, Ansus, this is wisdom, knowledge, communication, answers, transmission. This is like the voice of the universe. So you're understanding things. You're getting signals, and you got to listen. You got to, tune in your little miracle ear and listen to the things. You'll feel it. You can feel that when you're around other people. This is like the voice of the universe. This is God, divine inspiration. These are things, this is what's going to help our planet, because since we came out of the seedling and we were given the breath of air and breath of life, and now we're here, we're starting to receive signals. We're in our initiation, where we're starting to receive messages on how it's word power, it's synthesis, it's synchronization, it's confirmation. It's this rune governs mental capacity. So this means that with all of the fear-based things that we see on TV, or things that are going around in the world, we have to understand that us as a collective consciousness, as a human race, we have so much potential, and we have so many good things working for us, and we have synchronicities, and we have synthesis, and we have wisdom and knowledge, and we have that divine spark right inside of us. And when we all vibrated at that level, it makes one huge, huge vibration. Same way if you throw a rock in the water and you see how that circle just, that's the same thing. When you have one person starting out shouting, like, oh, the wolf, the wolf, the wolf, everybody starts freaking out, even though they've never seen a wolf, or some people don't even know what the wolf is. But the exact equal opposite happens. That's where you get this, the double. Look at yourself in the mirror. Do you want to be the person who is provoking the fear in the world? Do you want to be the person who is uplifting the vibrations in the world? That's what it's all about, my darlings. And that's what Thanksgiving is about. So we have the mental capacity to govern our feelings and to change the way we think and to improve our world as a human race, as humankind, because we are special. We are so special, and we are loved, and we are made of love, and we need to love. And that's what Thanksgiving's all about, my darlings. Sending you tons and tons and tons of light, and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thanksgiving, gobble gobble, tons of turkeys, save a plate for somebody who needs one. God bless, and have a great, great Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.